language. In the age of the iPhone and the smartphones, how long does the average worker, corporate executive, how long can they work at a task before they feel the impulse to switch and do something new? What do you think that, how long do you think that impulse lasts before we go, you know what, I'm going to put this email aside. What's Facebook doing? 5 minutes? 9 minutes? 3 minutes. 3 minutes is what they found. 3 minutes we can do a task before we feel the impulse to, I'm going to call my wife. Not a lot of time. And guess what? It's not getting better. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Another study, more important to all of us, is one that was done at Indiana University to find out how about people listening to a presentation, listening to a lecture, listening to a meeting, listening to a sermon in church. How long can they go before they're listening and all of a sudden I don't want to listen anymore. I'm thinking about dinner. I'm thinking about the next session I have to go to. What do you think they found for someone listening to a class, a sermon, a speech, a presentation?
1 minute.
Luckily, it's longer than 3 minutes. 7 minutes? 5 minutes? 15 to 20. There's your answer. 15 to 20. Here's the bad news, though. How many of you do longer presentations in 50 to 20 minutes? Right? So what do we have in our tool belt, in our arsenal of performance-based tools? What do we have that can overcome that obstacle? Yeah, so I don't know if this is on the sheet, but write these two words down. Pattern interrupt. You ever heard that term before, a pattern interrupt? So that's your secret weapon to keep an audience engaged. What's a pattern interrupt? You said it up here, but how about in the back? What's a definition of a pattern interrupt? Yes, a change up, changing something in the messaging, something in the delivery. So what are some of the pattern interrupts or change ups that some of you use in your presentations, in your communication that work pretty well?
Ask a question.
There's a good one. Ask a question. Go to the audience. What's a question? You know, make it interactive, a dialogue, not a monologue. What else?
Voice inflection.
Using your voice, sure. You know monotone? You know monotone in the voice? You can't engage an audience if everything is like this and I'm talking like this the whole time and this is how it's going to go for the next hour and I'm...
If there's a video or something.
Yeah, change the visual. Change the visual. There's another pattern interrupt. Change speakers. Guess what? We got to hear you. We got to hear you. We got to hear other people coming up and doing, not me anymore. So what happens is those pattern interrupts reset the clock for you. Gives you another 15 to 20 minutes where your audience is with you. Break people up into teams. Breakout groups. That's a good way to keep your audience engaged. Pattern interrupt, pattern interrupt, pattern interrupt. Pretty soon the day will be done. They didn't even realize it was over because they were having so much fun. The ones that are no good, somebody comes in with their PowerPoint, they plug in, they go to their first slide, and it's an hour, 2 hours of just slide after slide after slide. Okay? Pattern interrupt, engage that audience, keep them with you.